Your fence is in direct violation of the bylaws, Section 3, Paragraph 4. We will begin fining you immediately if this is not corrected by Friday.
At 9:03 a.m. on May 3, 2024, I opened my front door and found an orange violation tag stapled to my porch post. The rail felt slick from last night's rain. At the curb, a silver SUV blinked its hazards, click click click, like it was keeping score. A woman in a neat blazer rolled a yellow measuring wheel across my walkway, spokes whispering on wet concrete. My phone buzzed with my escrow officer's name. Closing was at 1:00 p.m. The tag said the HOA had already contacted escrow about my porch. I read it twice, and my stomach sank. HOA find my porch over my escrow file. Turns out I'm the base commander with the measuring wheel on file. They claimed my bottom step crossed a setback line by 6 inches, so they were charging $375, plus a rush compliance fee of $125. It warned that unpaid fines could become a lien. One plain thing made it worse. It was my porch. It was deeded to my lot. Not shared. Yet they were using my refinance like a leash. I called the number and got the HOA chair right away, like she'd been waiting beside the printer. She said, "We take curb appeals seriously. Pay today and we'll clear escrow." I said, "Show me the rule and the boundary you measured from." She sighed and answered, "The wheel doesn't lie." At 4:10 p.m., I drove to the clubhouse with my old survey. The board rep glanced at it like junk mail. The chair didn't touch it. She said, "Denied." Neighbors walked past the window and looked anywhere but at me. That night I chose the clean fight. No yelling. No stunts. Proper channels only. On May 7th, a deputy knocked because someone reported a trespasser on HOA property. He looked at my porch, looked at my paperwork, and sighed like he'd been here before. Timeline item 1 May 7th at 6:40 p.m. False trespass call. That made 3 complaints in 6 days, and my escrow clock was still ticking. After he left, I opened a notebook and started a record. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. On May 6th at 8:22 a.m., I had already gone to the county records office downtown. It smelled like old paper and burned coffee. A clerk stamped my request and slid a packet across the counter with a hard clack. The file landed with 67 pages, all dated and numbered. The recorded plat showed my lot line clear as day. The porch footprint sat inside it with room to spare. The setback the chair quoted belonged to a sidewalk easement across the street. She had measured from the wrong line. The board scheduled a remeasurement for May 9th at 7:00 p.m. The chair arrived with her yellow wheel and a clipboard, smiling like she'd already won. I met her on my porch with my binder and my own measuring wheel, same model, clean and marked. She said, "Wow, you bought a toy." I said, "Not a toy. I'm a base commander. We use these for safety checks in county projects. This one's calibration record is on file." Her smile twitched once. The moment I said base commander, the street woke up. Curtains moved. Doors cracked open. A teen drifted closer with his phone out. 2 neighbors hovered by the driveway, whispering. The group chat lit up with live updates. He brought a binder. She's doing the wheel thing again. I got fined for a flower pot last summer. Somebody finally pushed back. A man across the road muttered, "She tried this on my deck, too." The chair heard it and kept rolling her wheel anyway, like noise could change ink. At 7:24 p.m., a county inspector pulled up in a plain truck with a laser measure and the plat I ordered. He asked, "What legal point did you measure from?" The chair pointed at a sidewalk seam. He tapped the plat and said, "This is the line. This is the easement. Your reference is wrong." He measured twice, wrote it down, and told my escrow officer on speakerphone that the porch was compliant. He noted the HOA had sent an escrow notice without a survey or recorded map, which can disrupt a closing. Then he asked about the deputy visit. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. He wrote a case number on my copy and told the chair to retract the escrow notice in writing. After the inspector spoke, the whole block felt like it took its first full breath in years. It wasn't cheering. It was steadier, like a heavy hand finally lifted off everyone's shoulders. People who had been hunched started standing straighter. Phones came up higher, not sneaky anymore, and you could hear little camera taps and message pings. The chair kept clutching her clipboard, but her words didn't land. Every time she tried to sound important, someone glanced at the plat instead. Even the board rep stopped smirking and started writing, fast. A neighbor asked the inspector for his card. Another neighbor whispered, "Get that in email." The bully look faded, and the room turned into a paper trail. Nobody looked away anymore. The consequences arrived the boring, official way, which is the best way. On May 11th, the county emailed a written determination that my porch met code and sat within my recorded boundary. The management company demanded the fine be reversed and a corrected letter be sent to escrow. My escrow officer confirmed funding on May 12 at 9:18 a.m., and the chair's leverage vanished in a single email. After that, the neighborhood behavior changed in small, brave ways. People stopped treating the chair like whether you just endure. At the mailbox, neighbors compared notices instead of hiding them. At the playground, parents traded screenshots and said, "Put it in writing," every time. Folks showed up to meetings with folders, not fear, and they asked calm questions that couldn't be brushed off. Phones kept documenting, not for drama, but for proof. People sat straighter, spoke slower, and stopped laughing nervously. You could feel the bully losing oxygen because the audience stopped feeding her. When someone tried to interrupt, a neighbor would say, "Let him finish," and it actually worked. The chair still talked, but the room kept choosing facts over volume. By June 2, 2024, my porch looked exactly the same as it always had, and somehow that felt like a victory. I sat on the steps with iced tea, feeling warm wood under my palm, listening to a mower buzz down the block. A neighbor brought cookies and said, "Thanks for fighting the right way." I told her it wasn't brave. It was paperwork and patience. I slid my binder onto a shelf and wrote one last label, Porch, May. Then I watched kids draw chalk suns on the sidewalk and let the quiet win. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and share. Was the HOA wrong? Drop a comment.